Casey Barnes, I'm so happy that we're not the only ones that have trouble figuring out how to use Zoom.
You'd think after a COVID lockdown, you'd finally have it worked out, but thankfully I can sing songs.
Yeah.
I think we all did learn to do a lot more stuff though during COVID, didn't we?
Yeah, and adapting to all sorts of new things. It's we literally, speaking of Zoom, the album that we literally just won the ARIA for, we recorded a lot of that over Zoom sessions. So it's pretty crazy we couldn't go into a studio and be there in person and all that sort of thing. So it was pretty unique.
So are you saying that you would have each used your at-home studios and then a producer whacked it all together?
Amy Shark's music director is a mate of mine. He's got a studio here on the Gold Coast, and I recorded the vocals in his studio, and my producers were like tapping in on a Zoom session and taking over the desk. It was surreal, actually. It was really full on.
And look, I think we've got to do the formalities, Caroline. Congratulations on the ARIA. My God.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I still can't believe it, but it's been an amazing few days.
You won an ARIA. You're nominated for 5 golden guitars. Which is bigger in your heart?
You could never choose between the two. I mean, I guess I've been watching the ARIAs since I was a little kid. I used to tune in religiously every year and watch it on telly. And, as I said in my speech, to win one is just unbelievable. But, the Golden Guitars are also, the pinnacle for Australian country music. So we'll see how we go in January.
Yeah, well, look, it's a brilliant effort. Winning the ARIA, absolutely fantastic. You know what I love about you? It was only just a few months ago that, Casey, you were in town. You did a gig for us at one of our wish list functions, which was a charity gig, and you did an awesome job. Everyone was loving it. You were doing covers in your country and your own things. But here you are, Mr. ARIA award winner, still packing your own gear in your own van to leave town at 11 o'clock after the gig. I love that about you.
Oh, mate, you got to keep your feet on the ground. That's one thing my mum taught me growing up, is don't get too far ahead of yourself. And it's and especially my 2 girls, they keep my feet well and truly on the ground. They don't let me get too far ahead of myself. So I don't mind doing all those things. And I think the most important thing is always remembering people that have sort of been there from the start and helped you. Mates of mine that have helped me load my PA out of I don't know how many pubs and clubs on the Gold Coast when I used to do covers gigs years ago. And and also people like yourselves and radio stations that have been playing my stuff on back of me. It really means the world.
Where did you grow up?
Tassie. Grew up in Tassie. Yeah.
And your mum and dad real country music fans?
Oh, they are, especially mum. She used to let me listen to all her records, and so like old James Taylor and the Eagles. And my first ever concert that I went to when I was a little kid was Johnny Cash, and so you don't forget that sort of stuff. But it's funny, my first gigs that I ever did were in Launceston, and I used to walk past this little Irish pub on the corner, walking to school, and there was a blackboard out the front that says, who's playing on different nights of the week. And I used to always walk past and go, if I can just get my name on that blackboard, I've hit the big time. And funnily enough, that was my first ever gig. I think it was Tuesday nights playing at Irish Murphy's in Launceston. So
I love that. I just think it's great when an artist remembers that feeling, that first gig, the nerves, and it just shows that you're still very much there. But I mean, when you're at something like the ARIAs, are you looking at someone going, oh, I'd love to meet that person, or I'd love to meet that person? Is there someone you're kind of hanging to chat with, maybe even record something with?
Oh, you seriously, literally the whole night, you're just sitting there or standing there just going, holy crap, like people that you've grown up having huge respect for or idolizing are literally just 2 meters away from you. And it's crazy. One of the things that was the biggest spin out of the night for me was when the awards ended and we walked back out to the after party, which was sort of on the red carpet. First person that came over to congratulate me was Dylan Alcott, the Australian of the Year. Nicest bloke in the world, and actually knew my name. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Dylan,
it was so crazy.
That is cool. When someone else that famous knows your name, that would be pretty cool.
Oh, it's full on. Honestly, it's still sinking in. I remember like walking up to the stage when they read my name out. The whole time I'm walking up there, just going, "Hang on, is this like?" It's one of those out of body experiences where you're like, "Is this actually really happening, or is somebody going to wake me up?" It's weird. It's the weirdest feeling.
We're looking forward to seeing what happens at the Tamworth Country Music Awards with the Golden Guitar nominations, all 5 of them. You're a bit greedy, mate, because I think he's up against Taylor Moss in one of them, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Taylor Moss is our girl. I think she's best new artist or best new
Best new talent.
best new talent.
I want to go on record, Sunshine Coast. I voted for Taylor Moss to win Best New Talent.
Geez, you're smooth, mate. You're smooth.
I've got all the time in the world for Taylor. She's come on tour with us and she's a goer. She works her backside off. I love her. So I want to see her do well.
That's great. Me too. Hey, that is just great. Congratulations on your aria. You are on the way, Casey Barnes, and 5 golden guitars coming your way in January.
It's crazy. Thanks, you guys. Thanks to everyone up on the sunny coast, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
That's 4 golden guitars because one's going to Taylor Moss.
Yeah, no, they're in.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm checking.
Not new talent.
No, but I'm checking.
She can have it.
Thanks, mate. You get back to the studio and then come back to our studio as quick as you can, mate. We'd love to see you live.
Thanks, guys. Definitely.
Mix FM's Mark and Caroline for breakfast.